We are pioneers, adventurers. We are treasonous rebels. We are inventive. We are victorious. We are out of this world. We are equal. We are kind. We are Americans. We do not need to be led. We lead. Knowledge is power. Be empowered. freedomproject.com.
You know, a lot of people are talking about education these days. According to the National Center for Education Statistics, 9 months a year, 44 million students head off to approximately 99,000 public schools in the United States. An estimated $540 billion is spent on their education. And for that investment, American students rank 23rd in the world when it comes to science, math, and reading. Hello, I'm Dave Fiorazo, and it is my pleasure to talk to you about an amazing organization called Freedom Project. As you've just heard, the statistics for our country's public schools are very discouraging. All parents want the best for their children, but many don't know where to turn. Here at Freedom Project, we are offering an opportunity to put your fears to rest. Right now, our staff is working hard, developing a fresh take on a classical education, an education steeped in the knowledge dating back to our country's founding fathers, an education built on the foundation of truth, principle, and values. Our curriculum is being designed to welcome students ranging from kindergarten through high school, covering every subject from literature and math to science. After years of hard work, we are proud to announce the launch of our 9th through 12th grade curriculum for the fall of 2011. Our curriculum will be delivered via the internet using the open source Moodle system. Moodle has a proven track record as an online learning management application, currently used by more than 32 million people worldwide. What we're saying is our online curriculum is one of the best systems for any computer. We will be delivering our curriculum in block-style learning modules. This will allow the student to focus on one subject at a time. We see this as a recipe for success, taking a solid style of classical education and combining it with the proven success of online learning using multimedia, all at a fraction of the price of most home educational providers. To show our learning styles, take a look at this clip from our Principles of the Constitution series entitled Bill of Rights 1 through 5.
Looking at the first 5 amendments, the first establishes individual freedoms such as free speech, free press, and free assembly. The First Amendment states, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. In other words, the Founding Fathers wanted the citizens to be able to critique the government without risking punishment. The Second Amendment has to do with the militia and the right to keep and bear arms. It states, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. The Founders had come from countries where the only people who had weapons were the soldiers. In fact, the Founders felt so strongly about the citizens being armed that Patrick Henry said, the object is that every man be armed. The Third Amendment deals with soldiers forcing their way into private homes. It says, no soldier shall, in time of peace, be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. This amendment was made because British troops were staying in American homes without permission. The Founding Fathers wanted to make sure this never happened again. The Fourth Amendment focuses on the rights Americans have if law enforcement wants to search your property. In more detail, it says, the right of the people to be secure against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated. The entire Fourth Amendment protects Americans from government harassment or seizure of property without constitutional justification. It is really the only amendment that confirms the right of private property and requires law enforcement to prove legal cause before entering your property for any purpose. Did you get all that? Let's find out. Question 1, true or false? The Bill of Rights gave Americans rights. The answer is false. The Founding Fathers were clear that man's rights were inherent and God-given. The Bill of Rights merely acknowledged them. Question 2. Who drafted the Bill of Rights? A. Abraham Lincoln. B. Thomas Jefferson. C. Alexander Hamilton. Or D. James Madison. The answer is D. James Madison. He actually drafted 12 amendments, but only 10 were ratified. Question 3. Which is not listed in the First Amendment? A. Freedom of speech. B. Freedom of the press. C. The right to bear arms. Or D. The right of peaceful assembly. And the answer is C. The right to bear arms is protected under the Second Amendment.
So, how did you do on that quiz? As you can see, our mission at Freedom Project is to provide a quality education entrenched in the facts that are fun and interactive for students. You see, each of our courses will feature multiple forms of media to help students understand the relevance of each topic. Here's a look at 2 videos being designed for our Presidential Minute series. George Washington and Thomas Jefferson in 60 seconds. Here we go.
Let me tell you a little story about a man named Thomas Jefferson. Born in Virginia on April 13, 1743, he would become the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. His family name and hard work prepared him to be one of America's most famous founding fathers. In addition to writing the Declaration, he was the first U.S. Secretary of State, the second Vice President, and third President. During his presidency, Jefferson brokered the Louisiana Purchase and the Lewis and Clark Expedition, who would have been completely lost if not for their faithful GPS, also known as Sacagawea. Tom co-founded one of the country's major political parties and is the only president to serve 2 terms without vetoing a single bill of Congress. He was an architect, inventor, lawyer, and founder of the University of Virginia, the only American university to be founded by a U.S. president. At 29, he married Martha Wales Skelton and together raised 6 children. Today, Tom's image can be seen at the Jefferson Memorial, Mount Rushmore, $2 bill, and a nickel. Let's face it, we all know Franklin got the better deal in the money department. Ironically, Thomas Jefferson died on July 4th, 1826, the same day as John Adams and the 50th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. And there you go, a little story about a man named Tom. Let me tell you a little story about a man named George Washington. Born in Virginia on February 22nd, 1732, he became the only president to receive every electoral vote. A very tall man, Washington began his military career at 20 years old, joining up with the Virginia militia. At 26, he married Martha Custis and helped raise her 2 children. By his 40s, George was earning his stripes, commanding troops of the Continental Army to victory in the Revolutionary War. In 1789, he was chosen as America's first president. During that time, he helped create the first presidential cabinet system and national bank. Today, Washington's image can be seen on Mount Rushmore, the $1 bill, and quarter. He has his own monument, the tallest in D.C. America's national capital is named after him, as well as a state, the only one to be named after an American president. On December 14, 1799, while checking his farms in the freezing rain, George Washington developed pneumonia and died at the age of 67. And there you go, a little story about a man named George.
So, what'd you think? If you liked those particular videos, Freedom Project will be offering the full collection of the Presidential Minute series on DVD in June. Next, I want you to hear from our Executive Director, Alan Scholl. You'll be even more excited to use the Freedom Project curriculum after Alan explains what makes it so unique.
The Freedom Project offers a top-notch online learning system designed to deliver the education that made America great. Based on the principles and values of our rich American heritage and Christian foundation, timeless truth supports modern lessons, filtering the accumulated knowledge of 250 years through the critical screen of truth. Young Americans will really learn once again. Created to help restore our national heritage of liberty and success, this project will empower students with up-to-date knowledge that lines up with those all-important principles of the past. We will emphasize those unchanging principles in a modern learning environment, using a wide variety of both multimedia and tested traditional teaching techniques. Instructors will involve students in live webinars and present lessons built around short, specialized videos, as well as computer-generated and recorded sessions. Complete with custom-produced graphics, animations, and audio, and using interactive quizzes, tests, and measurements of learning, our students will stay focused. Freedom Project will use the Moodle Learning Management System, a very expansive and professional interactive system used by tens of millions worldwide to keep students involved. All students will interact with real-live instructors as well as participating in live workshops, seminars, and appearances through the technology of the World Wide Web. Students will gain knowledge while accumulating course credits, and even more valuable, young Freedom Project users will develop a true understanding of their nation's heritage and history. They will understand the stable and productive free market economic system, learn to appreciate genuine literature, accurate political and physical geography, factual science, and practical biology that reflects the facts of science and does not deny the existence of our Creator. Supported in large part by donors and mentors who value and appreciate this methodology and solid teaching approach, the costs of individual courses will be kept as low as possible, making Freedom Project programs affordable for all.
In addition to our new curriculum, our producers at Freedom Project are working hard creating fun, informational videos about past and current events making headlines across the nation. Here's a look at two videos entitled Modern Preamble and Happy Meal Ban.
We, the people of the United States of America, in order to form a more perfect union. Seriously? Are you as bored as I am? Thanks anyway, Chris. Anyway. People don't talk like that anymore. For the past 200 years, the U.S. Constitution has been a bedrock document embedded in all Americans' lives. But why? You see, the internet is faster than finding a book. Tells us the U.S. Constitution consists of a preamble. More like a pre-blah-blah-blah. Really, a preamble means an introduction. Back on track. So the introduction of the U.S. Constitution consists of one very long, overdrawn, oddly worded sentence. 52 words in all, but I digress. The first part talks about forming a more perfect union, which I'm thinking meant the Founding Fathers wanted American citizens to treat each other a little better than England had been. Right-ho. The next part, to establish justice and ensure domestic tranquility. Seriously, I feel like I've taken a tranquilizer. It means for every crime there's a fair punishment, and everyone has the right to live in safety. So far, so good. The next part talks about providing for a common defense, which means we have the right to protect ourselves as a country. Moving right along. Promote general welfare and secure blessings of liberty for ourselves and our posterity. Posterity? Is that some kind of bad word? All it means is we want equal opportunities for ourselves and our kids. That's it. That wasn't that complicated, now was it? I'm Nathan for the Freedom Project. Welcome home. Remember the good old days when you were a kid in Mickey D's and you begged your parents for the Happy Meal? They had everything a kid could ask for. Scrumptious food, an amazing box, and of course, that gotta have it toy. Well, I say good old days because the city by the bay has now taken the happy out of the meal. On November 2nd, 2010, San Francisco's Board of Supervisors voted to force fast food restaurants to either stop including toys in their kids' meals or make their food healthier. In addition, each meal must include at least one fruit or veggie. Listen, this is a Happy Meal, not a lead-filled radioactive meal. No one would argue that eating more fruits and veggies is a bad thing, but when the government mandates how parents feed their kids, that directly violates limited government and free enterprise, which are both clearly laid out in the United States Constitution.
Where's my toy?
Let's face the facts, childhood obesity is a serious problem that needs to be dealt with. But this problem has little to do with Happy Meals and everything to do with parenting. Granted, everyone knows San Francisco is quite progressive, but can you imagine a whole country filled with toyless, unhappy meals? Frankly, it scares the nuggets out of me. I'm Nathan for the Freedom Project.
So who's hungry for a burger? You know, I want to draw your attention to another facet of Freedom Project which makes us so unique. Our website, freedomproject.com. Upon your first visit to the site, you'll notice a section right on top which features our newest videos. Right below is our news feed which highlights new articles, historical biographies, and the latest announcements from Freedom Project. You'll also find a direct link to our Facebook fan page. Make sure you like us right away. Our site also features nearly every video we've created, including a section where you can see the latest speeches being given by our staff. Here's a quick look at our Executive Director, Alan Scholl, giving a talk entitled, George Washington, a Man of Character.
How many presidents at the end of 2 terms in office have said that they long to return to private life, did not seek the office, and served out of duty to the people who had called them? A uniform sacrifice of inclination to the opinion of duty. In this book, written by Theodore Roosevelt and Henry Cabot Lodge, there's a statement about our president, George Washington. It's stated here by brilliant historian Richard Green, "No nobler figure ever stood in the forefront of a nation's life." It cannot be said more concisely, and it's certainly accurate. Truly, George Washington was the father of our nation. He should be revered. He should be honored. And he should be recognized for the great leader that he was and the great example that he is to all leaders in America to this very day. Let's celebrate George Washington's birthday with a remembrance of what he gave us and the sacrifices he made to America. Thank you.
You see, there are many fun things to experience on freedomproject.com, including our latest endeavor, Freedom Focus Live, an interactive chat. Each Friday, we broadcast an hour-long live show from our headquarters, where you can see brand new videos being produced, discuss historical and current topics, and weigh in on the direction our country is heading. Pretty cool, huh? You know, the best thing about Freedom Focus Live is the program is 100% free. So be sure to check it out every Friday. Finally, I want to introduce you to our academic director, Dr. Jake Jacobs. Dr. Jacobs would like to explain the kind of things students can expect when they begin taking classes using our online Moodle system, and what makes this experience a better opportunity to learn.
Freedom Project offers a unique alternative in K-12 education. We are unique in that the cost will be kept as low as possible and taught from a perspective that we love our republic under God and we desire to keep it. All of our instruction will presuppose that in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. And to quote the Declaration of Independence, that He, our Creator, is the supreme judge of the world. From Socrates to Cicero to Moses and Jesus, we will utilize their wisdom to teach critical thinking, logic, rhetoric, God's law and grace, and character development. Last but not least, we will not teach from a politically correct perspective, but from a historically correct context that recognizes and admires America's exceptionalism and the wisdom that our founding fathers gave the world.
I'm Dave Fiorazo for the Freedom Project. Welcome home.